Alright guys, what's going on? This is Eagz, and in today's video, I'm going to be walking you through a game I had in Diamond Master Elo, I think. I'm pretty sure as well the enemy Akshan is Challenger. So there are, it is OCE, right? So it's going to be kind of a little bit all over the place. But anyway, this is a proper game, and in this game I'm playing Zed Jungle. So yes, not Shaco, but Zed Jungle against an Evelynn. First thought in my mind when I'm playing Zed Jungle against an Eve, I know that Evelynn is a champion who, first of all, needs strong lanes in order to do well if she's playing against a good jungler. Reason being is because what I do in this game, like, just look at this game for me. How many of you, like, where would you guys start? I start red this game, but I'm interested to, like, keep this interactive, I guess, as much as I can, because it will force you guys to think. I just don't want to sit here and tell you, I do this, I do this, I do this. I want you to try and actually predict what I'm going to do here, because this game, in my opinion, is very clean, and there's some really good principles that I can teach you guys, because, yeah, this is actually me, like, playing kind of focused. Anyway, this game I start red. Where would you guys start? Would you start blue? Would you start red? Because you can't really invade level 1 on Zed, unless you have, like, a Giga OP top and mid lane with, like, Lethal Tempo and Conqueror. But Victor is just, like, kind of dog, right, at level 1. Fiora isn't the scariest champ. She might even be running Grasp, I can't remember. So the point is, there's no real invade on, like, at level 1, so we're just going to standard start at a buff, and obviously Evelynn, we've got no worries about her invading us, because she's probably going to full clear. So, because I know that this Evelynn jungle, who might be Diamond, might be Master, I know she's just going to full clear, right, like anyone would do on that champion, or most people would do. My intention here is if I have priority in mid lane or bot lane, I am going to just sprint at her second buff. Or top lane as well, obviously, because I don't know where she starts at the moment. So my intention is to play the jungle matchup. This ends up just snowballing me the game, to the point where Eve can't play the game, and to the point where I'm 11-0, and the game ends at like 15-20 minutes. It's really over at about 5 minutes in this one, and we'll see this very soon. I also just pressed spacebar, which stopped the recording, so I've got to restart it, but anyway, we continue. So I'm going to start red buff here, ping on the way. You don't really need a leash, guys. Like, I'd highly recommend if you have a bot lane that's very aggro early and has power early game, like Caitlyn Karma or Lux and someone, or, I don't know, it could be Nautilus Samira, Alistair Samira, something like this, right? Kalista, Draven, these type of champions who want to get going early game, maybe Lucian Nami. Don't make them leash. Just leash on your own. Even if that means you have to start Raptors, it's well worth it for your bot lane. Anyway, they decide to leash. It's not really that bad, them leashing, because it is Jhin. It will still be fine. He's one of those kind of like utility AD carries who's more than happy weak siding. And we just decide to clear here. Now, because I see Ezreal in lane straight away, I know that Eve is probably starting topside, right? Maybe a Red or Raptors, and the enemy top laner is leashing. So I should definitely ping this. Why I don't? I kind of just don't, which is a bad habit. So make sure you guys do in your games. Again, like maybe it's because I'm streaming, I don't really give that much of a fuck. But it's, yeah, it's not good that I actually don't do it. Anyway, we continue with this game, so each time, like, I'm auto-attacking, or E-ing, or Qing, like, whatever it is, I'm looking at the minimap, and you can see that when I path towards my Raptors here, I look at mid. I also look at top. Why would I not look at bot? The reason I don't look at bot is because the champions aren't interacting. You see how Jhin is, like, full HP, you see how Nami's full HP as well. Victor and Akshan at the moment are actually, like, full trading. Right here, which is why I look mid. And top lane, I'm pathing towards that lane. Bot lane, yes, I could always think about wrapping towards bot. Let me just pull out my epic pen. I could always think of wrapping bot if there's like a legit big fight happening, right? So after I do my Raptors here, I go like this, and I can end up swinging bot, right? But the problem with that is what? If Eve is doing her Raptors, let's say, and I show bot lane with a red buff, level 3, and if she presses tab, I've got 12 CS, it means I've done my whole bot side, right? All of this is open for her. And honestly, if I was to do this and get kills, I would have to do this, trusting that that's happening. This ward as well might expire soon, because I put that down kind of early. Okay? We end up starting Raptors here. I could always, like, look around mid, but if he doesn't take this tower shot, the Akshan, I should definitely start Raptors. So I'm almost trusting the Akshan, who is the challenger dude, not to just tank a random tower shot here. And he does, and because I'm so close to him, like, oh, if that E hits, maybe I can kill him when my Q comes back up. But my E is just out of range. Thankfully, low, he flashes, and he probably shouldn't flash because I have no energy. Like, if he really knew Zed, he knows that my Q is a lot of energy at level 1. So, kind of like both misplayed this, but it's flash for flash, so honestly, like, I'll definitely take this. It makes Victor's life a little bit easier. And you can see here that I end up pathing top. Why did I not go back to Raptors here? The reason I end up going top is because going to Raptors, right? leaves my top side open a little bit. So Eve might always just run at this. I'm also not sure how long that ward is going to be up for, right? And because Akshan kind of pushed me in this direction, I'm more than happy just to go to Gromp here. I don't want to do blue, even though blue will give me level 3 here. In fact, it might even be better to do blue buff, because then I can sequence Gromp on walls. But all I'm thinking about here, guys, is just hitting level 3. You have to understand, right? If I was to do this might get a little bit technical and scientific, but hopefully this will make sense. 130, right? Until 150 is like your first buff, right? Maybe 140-ish. But let's just call it 150. Let's do it in 20 seconds, right? So then 150 to 210. 210 to 230. 230 is the standard level 3 point, right? So this is your first buff, first camp, second, third. Look at the game time, 219. Eve is probably level 3. She has probably done red, Krugs, Raptors right now and is looking to swing towards Wolves. But I don't know if she's going to do that, right? Because she has good priority mid, the Victor is low, maybe she thinks about doing this right straight away. Even though that's warded for me, yes it's warded, but I don't have smite, I'm still kind of low, and she might be able to kill me. So I'm a little bit hesitant here, knowing that I've spent this time, remember, or this time, sorry, so just remember, this was my Raptor camp, right? How I kind of started it, then I flashed over the wall, yeah? So I've made a different play in this time, and it didn't work out, which means, right, that I'm actually behind. So for this fourth one, hopefully this isn't too fucking technical, God, I'm feeling it, but hopefully it makes sense. From 230 to 250, which is when Eve is going to be doing walls, and she'll have 16 CS, I'm going to have 12. So I'm always a camp behind her now. When these situations arise, when that play you made, like the gank, or you went for an invade and none of the camps are up, and you're like, oh my god, I've just wasted so much time, very important to farm and hit certain spikes. Level 3 here for me, which would have been my Raptors, but I decided not to, is a must hit. Which is why I just kind of go to like the closest camp, I guess. Yes, I think I should actually do blue buff here because, you know, I would hit level 3 because I got experience mid. If I didn't get any experience mid lane, Gromp would give me level 3, blue buff wouldn't. So it's very important, yeah? Although I did do Krugs. Hang on, I did do Krugs, guys. Sorry, my bad. I keep thinking I've done red and Raptors. Anyway, hopefully all that makes sense. Let's just get on with this. So we end up doing Gromp, and you see how I leash this as well. This is really important too, and it also comes up later in the game and saves my bacon, right? And also gets us 2 key flashes on Akshan and Eve. Notice how, like, this ward goes. Akshan has priority, kind of, and he has gone missing. I'm not sure where he went. But the point here is, like, I can potentially get hit like this. So I decide to pull the Gromp up here. Yeah? I do not want to get caught clearing a camp. Like, the worst thing you can do, if the map is in fog, and you've shown, like, I just pretty much held my hand up when I ganked mid, and I pretty much said to myself, and everyone in the game, right, like, I'm half HP, level 2, just run at my blue buff, I'm running over here. You don't want to get caught doing a blue buff here and blindsiding yourself to this space, yeah? You always want to try and pull it up and give yourself time. If I was to do blue there, I would honestly leash it, like, pull it back here, so I can see this. Or maybe just do it on the corner so I can see this. Maybe. Depends. Maybe down here is good. Let's continue. So we do Gromp. Then Ash's arrow hits me. What do you think I'm going to do after this? Because Ash obviously sees me here. Everyone sees me, right? Everyone in the game knows I'm here. Where's Eve? So first of all, I should be pinging around bot lane. Now, I will just say this. I am in communication with my Jhin. So in voice comm, so I'm telling him. But Nami might not know that. So I should definitely ping the Eve as well, right? We decide to start blue buff. So what am I going to do after blue? I think most junglers here are probably just going to do wolves, right? What did I say at the start of the video? What did I say? I said that the Evelynn is my focal point. I do not want her to get free shit, because guess what? She might outscale me. She does scale very well. Not sure if she outscales Zed, but you get my point. I don't want her to get free shit on the map. I want to deny everything she wants to do. Even though I've wasted a little bit of time here, there's a play I can make based on the top right, so the time in the game. Yeah? And the time it will be when I get there, that kind of stops what she wants to do. What is it? To hit the bot crab. Because the bot crab is up in 20 seconds, right? It's like playing chess, yeah? You know, I'm not really fucking amazing at chess, but I know how the game, like, works and stuff, and I can play it kind of okay. I've heard people say, like, top players say, the best players, even if they have an advantage themselves, will just stop any advantage you might have. So they just shut everything off. What jungling's like as well. You deny any sort of play the enemy jungler might have. Now, I can't do it on my own, right? Like, she's going to be level 4. When I get to this crab at 315, she is going to be level 4 off Gromp or Blue or whatever. I'm going to be level 3, so how can I win? That is not an advantage for me. She might even have the advantage there. Right? How do I win? Right? Even though he has to recall, he has TP. Right. When you have 2 prio lanes like this, guys, giving up that crab is criminal. That's how I see it. So yes, I don't sequence my walls with my Gromp. Yes, I leave my Raptors here. But guess what? These camps are going to be up at the same time anyway, in like a minute's time. Like, let's just say something happens this bot side of the map. I could always just come out of base and go Krugs, Raptors, Wolves, Gromp. All of those camps are going to spawn soon, right? Like, Krugs are going to spawn in a minute. I'm probably going to get there in a minute, depending on what happens here. So now I ping on the way, right? Like, I'm pinging on the way. This is my intention. I'm letting everyone know on my team this is what I'm doing. So I'm on the way for this crab. Now, I don't have Smite, so I never want to start this, right? If I had Smite here, I would just Smite Q, Auto E. Yeah, all at the same time, and I one-shot it. So I have to kind of wait for the Eve and get vision of her. I need to open this space up, yeah? If I was to start the crab here, what is stopping Eve from just going like this and smiting it and running out? She doesn't want to fight me, remember. Especially like down here where I've got Prio in bot lane. That's 2 champions I've got. Even if Akshan comes down, I don't really give a fuck. Because it will be 3 versus 2. Maybe 4 versus 2 if Victor moves himself, right? So I decide just to throw a combo out at Eve. I hit the Scuttle Crab to try beta, right? Because if she knew I had Smite, I would just Smite. Then she decides to run up. So I just damage her a little bit more. Nami lands everything. And Nami ends up killing the Evelynn. So the enemy jungler, yes, okay, it's kind of a troll death. Like, a really good Evelynn or jungler there is never going to die, right? That doesn't happen, though, if I'm not thinking about the enemy jungler and denying them. Most junglers there, guys, are just going to fucking do the top crab or do their walls and... like, Eve wins. Like, you lose. You lose the game. The map here is telling me you have a Prio bot. You kind of had a Prio mid. It's an Evelynn jungle who is weak as piss. Let's do something against her. See me looking bot here. Camera movement is crucial, guys. Absolutely essential. If you want to get to, like, the highest rank in jungle, like Challenger, of course, you're not going to do it unless you look at your camera. Unless you look at your lanes, right? So here, the bot lane, like the Ezreal is chunked. The Ashe is also chunked. I still look here, so look how I'm in the top left. So I open up my space so I can see the information. If I'm locked camera here, I just see a fucking wall. You need to look at the enemy champions at all times. Know their cooldowns, know their HP. Vital. So then I end up coming over, getting the vision on Ezreal. Just combo him. He dies, I pick up a free kill. What should I do here? Run to Raptors, Raptors walls. Wait for Krugs. Like, Krugs are up in about 20 seconds. What should I do? None of them. You just recall. Why recall? You've got a Dirk, a longsword, and it's 4:15, 4:20. Your cancel will be respawning soon. The reason I pinged on my way to Gromp here is because I wanted, well, in fact, it's probably a mistake. I should really go Krugs Raptors. Yeah? You see this? For some reason in my head, because I did red Krugs Gromp, I was like, oh, Gromp will actually be respawning kind of soon. I don't really need to be top lane. Fiora Gragas, Fiora's always going to be fine. And at the moment as well, it's kind of interesting, guys. Like, I've talked to, I haven't really talked to anyone about this, but I bring this up with people, right, in higher elos. Even if the lane is like 0-3, right? If that champion or player is ahead in CS, it actually means they're doing well. So Fiora here, even if she was 0-2, she's ahead in CS. She's actually playing that 1v1 well enough to CS still. So she must be doing something right. So don't get fooled too much if someone is like 0-3 or whatever. So the fact I see a CS lead top, and I just know kind of Fiora's going to scale well, I'm like, fuck it, I don't really need to path towards this lane. That's probably my thinking towards going towards Gromp. I actually think it's a little mistake, though. I actually think it's a little mistake going to Gromp. I think Krugs here, Krugs Raptors towards top side is excellent. Even if I just go Krugs Raptors, right, you have maybe players on Evelynn's bot side, depends what the map is telling us. Yes, okay, I won't be near, like, the dragon spawn, but I don't think Eve is ever going to do Drake, especially with the buffs they got. So, yeah, I decided to run top side here because I know this top crab is going to be contested, right? Evelynn should run here straight away, but you can also tell as well, guys, how when I look top here, right, at a base, just have a look at this for me. So I'm recalling. Ezreal flash, so I ping this, and I have my items ready to go and buy as I'm running out of base. So I click out of base, buy my items, should have got a sweeper as well, and we're going to use our W, hopefully off cooldown. I should definitely W here. Just get on the map quicker, and then you can see me pinging. I can tell that this Gragas has his jungler here. How can I tell? Kind of like a body language thing. Also, sorry for having my overlay on the thing, guys. I apologize, but hopefully it's not inhibiting anything. The information. I can tell because he's playing aggressive with 0 mana. Where did Evelyn start this game? She went top to bot. It's 420. 420, that first camp is going to respawn like my Krugs. Like Evelyn's Krugs. I know she's pathing top here, and look at the position of that guy, the Fiora. He's past the equator of the rift, right? Any jungler here, and I know as well that Evelyn, because she's diamond, isn't going to think about me. She's just going to gank this lane, like every day of the week, right? So I ping danger, and she shows up pretty much as soon as I do. And thankfully, because I ping, the Fiora saves her cooldowns, right? She has her parry ready for the gank. She plays it well. She baits these guys out. And as a result of me pinging and paying attention to Evelyn, which is what fucking jungling is about, and why there is a diff here in this game, I end up picking up a kill and another kill on the Grak. Just remember on Zed, guys, you will always auto-attack if you E, so don't worry about like E-ing and then like auto-attacking after. You can do both at the same time, so it's just like one animation kind of. We could pick up 2 kills. Should I recall here? Recalling is kind of okay, but I'm going Eclipse this game. I don't really want to recall for like a Vamp and maybe a Longsword or just a Vamp Scepter. I want to get some gold under the belt here or more gold. And recalling, it doesn't really like do that much for me. If I had enough gold for a Warhammer, maybe, I could even consider going like Dustblade or Prowlers in this game, because I'm super fed right now. So if you are snowballing, you can consider getting those like just full-on one-shot assassin items. But I really like Eclipse. You're still going to kill people. The armor penetration is super useful if they decide to build armor. And when you're this fed, they probably will, right? Anyway, we decide to go Gromp and back down. Also here, I should be pressing tab. So Eve has 28 CS. Right, 28 CS. Which means, what? What camp has she done? Because she didn't do bot crab, so she's probably done Krugs, right? So I'm guessing she just did her Krugs again before ganking top. Remember, she died like ages ago. So remember what happened bot lane. We killed the Eve, or Nami did. Then I ended up killing the Ezreal under his tower, and then I recalled. So she's had a lot of time, actually, to do one camp. She's done Krugs. So at a base, she might go something like Raptors, Wolves, Gromp. She could go to a Gromp. You never know. Back to Wolves, Raptors, topside. But I'm guessing she's going to go to Raptors here. I just cleared down pretty simple stuff. You see me checking mid all the time, see what the lane is doing. That wave as well, because it's the 530 cannon wave, so the third cannon wave, they will hit level 6. So ganking that lane, I'm kind of getting close to level 6 myself. Like, a couple more camps and I'll be there. So I don't really want to force anything unless it's pretty free, right? I don't want to waste too much time here. So I'm kind of like hovering near mid in case Akshan goes in, because Akshan can, in a split second, jump in. So just in case, I end up walking around the front of my red buff instead of just straight down to Krugs, yeah? Just offering Victor a little protection. We end up doing Krugs, and then I end up sitting in this brush here because the lane is somewhat pushing towards us, and I know the Ashe has no flash, which is the reason why I do this. And we end up landing pretty much everything, I think, maybe? Unfortunately, our Jhin doesn't have flash, so we can't close the gap. But yeah, the reason this play exists, guys, is because I'm aware of cooldowns, right? The Ashe has no flash, the Ezreal has an E, obviously, but he has no flash as well. So even if I do this to them, right, the Ashe getting chunked, I still think it's kind of worth, because Evelyn as well has no counterplay here. Look at my jungle. Because I've cleared my camps, Eve can't hit my top side because there's no camps. It's not like she can really gank the Fiora as well, because I'm pretty sure she's pathing bot. There's like no play on the map for her. It's like that chest thing I was talking about. There's nothing for her to get. Like, is she going to sneak a dragon? Of course not, right? So I just come down here, just pay attention to Ezreal's cooldowns, I guess, and bait him. Well done, Wudon. That is a top laner I coach. He's in the team that I coach. He's good, isn't he? Nah, he's a weapon, though, when he's in the top lane most of the time. Anyway, and here as well, guys, this is really important, right? Because I have futures. I'm still not too familiar, like 100% familiar with the gold values on Zed. But, yeah, here I'm just thinking about how much gold do I need for Eclipse. Because I know that with 1320 and a Dirk and a Longsword already, like, that's 1450 gold I've already spent. Another 1415 gold, and I'm very close to a mythic item, right? So all I need to do here is just one camp. We see Evelyn bot. It makes sense, right? Here as well, this is a point in the game where I'm super scared of Akshan being here. So I actually, like, ping, or I think I say it during the commentary or, like, the stream. I'm kind of scared of Akshan being here. So what I do is smite straight away so I'm healthy enough so he can't just one-shot me. And I'm going to pull the red buff up towards Raptors, because if he hits this red buff, he's going to go like this, right? So I'm very, very scared and just aware of this. But if we think about it, Victor being this low, most of the time, guys, hopefully anyway, like, if your mid laner is this low, the enemy mid laner is going to be that low as well. Very rarely is it going to be the case. Victor's full HP, and Akshan just ran into him and gave him a free trade. We ended up doing red buff. What do we do after red buff? We have Eclipse. Do we want to stay on the map? We're level 6 with red buff. We don't want to base, we want to use it. Of course you recall. We have Eclipse. Did it too late though. Should just do it in the brush. Anyway, we have Eclipse, we get Eclipse, we run to our top side. Why are we running top side here? Well, if we think about things, yes, okay, the dragon's up, but apart from the dragon, like, do we really need to do the dragon? Of course not. It means nothing at the moment. Like, you've got to think about this, guys. Like, so many people go into games, and they think about abstract shit that, like, doesn't even mean anything. Like, yeah, there's a dragon, bro. Like, the map is going to tell you if you should start the dragon. Should I start the dragon here? Of course not. Why would I run to Drake here? I have my whole top side spawning. There might even be a crab up top, which is another 120 gold, which is a lot of gold if you think about it. Show some respect to the crabs. And Rift Herald is up soon, which gives me a fuck ton of gold now, right? It's like 200 local gold, and if I get first tower, oh man, like the snowball just keeps rolling and rolling and rolling. I'm not interested in a single dragon. That's just one resource. There are like 5 resources top side of the map. I want to be here for them. As I'm running over here, I'm going to look at top lane. The lane is pushing. Look how many red minions there are. I already know my intention right now is to gank top. So what do? I ping my intention. I let Fiora know I'm on my fucking way. And Gragas doing this is excellent, so I know he just used his body slam, but it's on a low enough cooldown to be back up when I get there. This is pinged, which is really nice. So you have to ping, guys. If you know 20 seconds, yeah, in advance that you're going to gank a lane, as I missed both my Qs, if you ping in advance that you're going to gank a lane, it makes the top lane or that mid lane or the bot laner's job a lot easier because they know you're coming, yeah? Don't just fucking rock up and be like, right, let's fight, because your champions aren't aware of it, and they probably have used their cooldowns. They've got no idea what's going on. Now, in this situation, this is like a key 5-head part of the game, actually, and probably my favorite part of it. There's no mechanics involved, it's just awareness. I run down bot here and I look mid, right? So again, map awareness, moving your camera, looking at mid. Akshan feints as if he's going to go top, right? It's like his clicks after, or like during hitting that minion, are actually clicking top. He's like stutter stepping towards the top side of the map and holding that side. So my guess here as well, remember, Evelyn started at red. Her blue buff isn't up yet. Very soon. But Evelyn's probably top side as well. They know here, because I just showed on the map, and because Akshan has Pride, they might be able to hit me somewhere here. So as soon as I go to Scuttle Crab here, I just want to be a little bit careful, because it is even Akshan, a couple of Invis champs. As soon as I see this, I'm like, okay, and I ping this question mark. What's going on? Same idea as before, right? This Akshan and Eve know I started top side. Look how I leash this and how I ping this. Who's here? Who is knocking on the door, mate? So I'm going to leash this over here towards Gromp. If I had my W up, by the way, guys, I'd always save it. So if you're playing a champion with a dash or something, the key ability, I guess, you want to hold it, yeah? Like on Hecarim, you would never E into blue buff there. With that much fog and that much danger, I guess, right? Much better to be safer than sorry. But it starts with looking at your map and listening to the fucking thing. So these guys come in, I just W out, combo them, whatever. I know Eve doesn't have smite because she'd smite it, so I run back in here, and remember, guys, these guys don't have cooldowns. They have no cooldowns here, so I've got no worries jumping in. I don't have cooldowns, but what is like an Eve going to do to me? And an Akshan? Not much, to be honest. And because I have Eclipse, I'm so fed, I've got no worry. No worry jumping in. Get the shield. And even though I missed my Qs on Eve, yes, I should hit that. It's kind of bad micro. But anyway, we end up getting 2 flashes, right? Or Eve's ultimate, Akshan's flash. I get my blue buff. Just a massive waste of time from them. And remember, they're doing this when their top laner is dead. I think that would work on every jungler who wasn't, like, thinking. In other words, I'm going to sound arrogant, that would probably work on every Grandmaster below jungler. You have to fucking pay attention, guys, to the map, mate, and the signals that it's, you know, giving you. So what do I do here? I know, this is actually another 5-head play I make, so I know here that after Eve uses ult, after my Fiora has Prio still and the Gragas is just kind of useless, I know that when Victor is full HP and Akshan has to base soon, I have a free rift. Yeah. Most people there are probably going to do walls, and go to Raptors, and go to Krugs. Eve is not going to invade me here, guys. Like, I'm not losing anything on the map. She can't do Dragon, she's 200 HP with no R. If she gets caught, it's game over. It's game over anyway. Because we can play perfectly. Nothing to worry about. Let's just go towards Rift Herald. If she fights me, she's got no ultimate. I'm full HP with no ultimate, but I'm a level ahead. I've got both buffs, which will just help. And it's an Eve. She's not going to one-shot me yet. She'll one-shot me once she has 5 items. She's got barely half an item. So we get a free Rift Herald. Eve is bot as well. Maybe I should ping this. Definitely should ping a bit more for the team, but it doesn't really matter, right, this game. we end up going top here. So because I know Eagz is bot, I don't really like, after this Rift Herald, just want to recall. Yes, I could get a Dirk here. Maybe even doing that is good, and I can just like run bot side. But because this Gragas is 300 HP, guys, like if he's full HP, I'm not doing this, by the way. If he's full HP, there's no way I do this, and I probably recall. But he's so low, right? He looks so killable, man, and he sees me here. How he backs off. He obviously knows I'm here. I'm just going to drop the Rift Herald, and we end up shoving this wave in. Important move here, guys. Like, as I use my W here, which is fine because I know Eagz isn't here, might be a little bit risky using W with no ult and then face-checking this brush. Like, Gragas and Eagz might be sitting here, but I know Eagz is bot side. Then I end up pinging on the way again. Pinging on the way, I ping my W cooldown as well. In other words, hey Fiora, my W's on this cooldown, let's just chill for a second. Thankfully, Fiora does, right? She runs behind me, I'm going to block like the body slam when Gragas throws it at me. No worries. And I'm just waiting for the Grag to hit me or use some sort of ability, right? So if he uses his E or his ultimate, whatever it is, I just kill him. Just use my WQE quickly, auto attack. Just a free kill, right? Use your time, guys. Be patient for this. There's no rush to kill him because Eve isn't here. Akshan's not running top. I mean, Akshan might be running top, right? Out of base because he did recall. I don't think there's any threat. I've also got my ultimate back up. No worries. We get a Dirk, we get 2 more longswords. Sell the refill. A longsword here is going to be more useful than refill. I do not need refill in fights. I'm way too fat. Get some damage, snowball the game more. Do I run to walls here? Or topside? Not really, right, because I've got 2 kind of resources here. And the reason I don't do Krugs to Raptors is because I'm 8 after Raptors. If I do Krugs Raptors, I'm still 8, right? And after Raptors, I've got my ultimate. I just want to run at someone, bro. Like, if it's their bot lane, if it's the Evelyn. I also know Eve is probably clearing her bot side, maybe. So if I catch her here, I just one-shot her, yeah? And I don't think she has ultimate. So I use my sweeper here. Used it a little bit too early. I should be using it now, right? Use my sweeper. Thankfully, this isn't warded. And I catch the support Ashe who's coming back to lane. So I think for the rest of this game, guys, like, it's pretty much decided. And you see me just kill the Ashe here. And then we end up killing the Ezreal. Maybe during this I should ping Eve being top side. She's actually bot side though, which is interesting. So the Eve is bot side. She just showed on a ward. And anyway, we end up killing the Ezreal as well. I want to flash that because he's ulting. I don't really want to get hit by the ult. And we pick up a couple of kills. And then something else happens here where we kill the Akshan as well in the Eve, right? So yeah, guys, that's pretty much the video. If you did enjoy it, let us know again by leaving a like below. Any questions about it? Again, let us know in the comments. Patreon, you guys know the links there somewhere. Might even put them in the description. But yeah, thanks for watching. After this, the game is pretty much a formality, as long as I don't waste any time, yeah, which has kind of been the key to this game. And, yeah, thanks for watching. Take it easy. Bye.